For a lot of us, it can be hard to connect with the concept of, or to the voice and experience of the like higher self or the big S self. I like to use the words like oneness or unconditional love rather than big S self, which is used by Carl Jung and Richard Schwartz with IFS. Higher self's used by a lot of different people. Both of those feel like they might like know better or that I'm like lower than them, which I don't love the feeling of. So I like to use the words oneness or unconditional love. But it can be tricky to connect with this experience of that um, selfness because a lot of us have really convincing spiritual managers who sound like they know what's right and like they are telling us like good things. They could be telling us like you need to eat healthy or you need to exercise or you need to journal or you need to like do your shadow work and it can be very convincing. So I just wanted to share a quick trick and then a longer one for if you're trying to sort out like, is this the manager or is this my unconditional love talking right now? Um, so the quick way is to just ask, like, do you have an agenda? Right? If I have a voice that is telling me, hey, you really need to do your journaling today, um, it's not it's not my oneness or my unconditional love because my unconditional love is like a cloud. It just like sees me and acknowledges my existence in a morally neutral way. It's not going to say like you're bad if you don't do your journaling, right? Um, so that's a really quick way. Do you have an agenda, or is there a way that I could do this wrong? Is another question. And if they're like, yeah, there definitely is, then there are a protector, probably a spiritual manager. Um, and the longer way is that we can connect with what's called the eight C's and the four P's. And these are from Internal Family Systems, which was created by Richard Schwartz. Okay, five P's, my apologies. Okay, so these are the qualities of the big S self according to internal family systems: compassion, curiosity, courage, clarity, creativity, connectedness, confidence, and calm. And then the P's are presence, perspective, patience, playfulness, persistence. So all of these are, you will notice, very much things that we can only access when we're in our frontal lobe. It is impossible to access these qualities when we are in our defense state. And that's another way to really be able to see that if someone is acting outside of these qualities, it is not that they're being bad or mean. It is just that they're in the defense state and they don't have access to their executive function. And if we have a voice or an idea that is telling us, hey, I'm your wise mind, I'm your higher self, and I am telling you that you're bad if you don't go on a walk today, for example, then we can just run through these and be like, okay, actually, that doesn't sound very compassionate. So that's probably not my unconditional love or my oneness talking. And it doesn't sound like it has much perspective taking, right? Because your oneness would be able to say, like, hey, it sounds like you're not feeling well, and it makes sense for you to not go on a walk today. Right. So you can run through these qualities. And this is something that you could ask ChatGPT or your therapist to do with you. You could say, like, hey, can you help me to explore the eight C's and the five P's of the big S self through the perspective of IFS and help me to connect with that. You can also write directly to each of these qualities with some free writing, like, hey, compassion, what would you have me know today? Hey, connectedness, hey, calmness, hey, persistence, hey, playfulness. That can be a really nice way to connect with these qualities as well. And you can also invite in just like meditation or connectedness with each of these qualities. You could run through them like one every day of the week, for example, and just rotate through them. So, you could take a day just to think about compassion, and you could look up poems about compassion or read stories about compassion, or you could just think about the word compassion. You could connect with spirit beings or spirit guides or ancestors and ask them to share with you about compassion on one day, curiosity on another day. You could take one for an entire week and focus on it, write about it, make art about it, read poems about it, ask ChatGPT about it, etc. The act of contemplation is something that is the quickest way to connect with your big S self or with unconditional love, spending time just contemplating it. It's more challenging to connect with these things when we're in a stress state. But through meditation or contemplation can be a nice way to connect with and strengthen our experience of the big ass self, which then can make it easier to connect with it in hard times. In 12 steps, the 11th step is conscious contact, consistent conscious contact with the God of your understanding or with your higher power. And doing this through contemplation, whether it be making art or journaling or just sitting with some of these qualities or characteristics, a piece of scripture, a poem, a daily reader, anything like that, can be really lovely. If you're interested, the guy who wrote the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd, has a nice book on contemplation. And there's just sort of endless contemplative practices in most ancient wisdom traditions that you can look into as well. Okay, lots of love.